Hey, welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for whoever that lands on this. But I'm also going to do my winner, my person that won their free reading because they watched. And so I'm really excited to have her on. She will be meeting me in about most likely 10 minutes. Her name is Amanda, and she is the winner of the free reading. So whenever you watch my video, and if you resonate with it, all you need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then write whatever the word of the day is to show that you watched the video. Those three things will automatically get you into entering into winning a free psychic reading. So I choose one person usually a week, but as of lately, because this channel is relatively new and a lot of people don't know who I am, I'm trying to introduce myself a little bit more. So I am, giving away a lot more than one reading. So if you, like I said, want to win a reading, now would be your time to do it because, like I said, I'm choosing everybody because this channel is all about healing our spiritual blocks, learning how to integrate them into our gifts, into being able to see ourselves differently. See, spiritual blocks are psychological and emotional, and they're held in the body as stress, and it's what determines our energy vibration. It's what makes us a vibrational magnet to what comes into our life, including people that have the same energy, as well as experiences that are in alignment with that energy. So, as I said, I always choose a word of the day. So, let's see what the word of the day is going to be today. It's reactive. So, and it's funny because I kind of feel as if my person, again, that has won the reading, this is already like I felt her energy was this. So again, reactive energy is when we don't trust ourselves a lot of times. It's when it's when we automatically react, right? And so, but understand it, if we have spiritual wounds and we look at life through a distorted perception where the world isn't safe, we don't have a place in the world, we don't like who we are. Again, coming from a negative perspective about who we are, the world, what we're capable of, what we are worthy of, then what happens is whatever someone tells you, you're going to take it from a negative perception because, again, our life experiences are what shapes our perception. And so the problem with that is that what we see and what we believe, our actions are going to be in alignment with those wounds instead of really what's happening within the world. I just want to see what she says. Want to tell her that she's on. On. Come on. On. I got on. I told her to wait until 2:00 because I wanted to make sure. But like I said, right now, a lot of times when there's winners, they don't know how to get on. So I have to make sure that my winners are able to get their free readings. And see, that's also something that happens with spiritual blocks, right? Spiritual blocks, if they're around like how we think, there's a lot of times we just automatically don't trust ourselves. And then what happens is that we're not as interactive with trying to figure out things on our own. We feel as if we need someone to help us because there's a belief that we're not capable. There's a belief that we're going to get it wrong. And so when, again, we go through experiences that make us believe that we're not capable, and understand sometimes it's you're in an environment that is telling you that you're not capable, but maybe that's not the right environment for you. Understand, we're all born into families, and those families have their own spiritual wounds, and then the society that we're born into as well, and where we grow up also has their wounds. So what shapes us is a combination of our environment, our ancestral, and then our own personal experiences. So before she comes on, because like I said, I gave her the link already. I am back and forth speaking with her through Instagram. So hope make sure that she's be able to get on. I am going to pull some cards. Now, if you're new to the channel, anything that you need to know about the channel, you can find in the description box. Always whatever the giveaway is. If you're looking to book a personal reading, my website link, Patreon link for all other subscriptions. If you're looking to heal the shadow aspect of yourself to transcend the limitations of your mind, all you need to do is check out my subscriptions. I have really, really reasonable ones. I think the first one starts at $7.99 a month, and we do shadow healing. I teach how to heal through different exercises, through learning how to do certain rituals, protocols. Again, trauma held in the mind eventually conditions the body. So this is why we do exercise, because you have to recondition your body and mind many times after trauma, especially through reactive, right? I pulled that card, reactive. That's an automatic behavior. But if I grew up in survival mode, which is what I feel like my client kind of, hey, she's on. Amanda, like I know I told you not to come on until 2 because a lot of times it won't work until I scheduled it. And then I noticed that I actually scheduled it for 1:38 and I didn't realize that. So my apologies. Really happy that you're here. You are the second winner. And I had already pulled the card to say, like, if, like how you found quantum Cohen's. Well, I had pulled whoever lands on this, that all they need to do is the word of the day is reactive. But ironically, I kind of felt as if, we're going to focus on some of your spiritual wounds. And then we're going to go, because I asked you, so spiritual blocks, romantic relationship, and I think like we'll go into like soul's path, because we can't really transmute all of our wounds without, number one, being in our soul's path, knowing why we're here. A lot of times we look at things through a wrong perception. And so when I pulled reactive, intuitively, I felt like that was your card. But the energy, because I kept saying this reading's for Amanda, this reading is an intention is for Amanda. However, being it's live stream and we go by spiritual law, it's for anyone that lands on this. Anyone that lands on this that's going to resonate with your message, it's because like goes to like. You're a magnet of who and what is supposed to come into your life. So it's no coincidence, Amanda, that you wound up on my channel and listening to a video that you resonated with, because Spirit wanted you to find that message. And I wanted you to find that message because he wanted you to be able to heal, to transcend, because you have limitations due to trauma, now I feel as if when I got the word reactive, as I said, it resonated with me to you and it was mainly because of just your energy. I feel like you're a highly sensitive person, very emotional. And so you're very passionate, you're very creative, you're very artistic, you're very intuitive as well. So, but you grew up in like with around someone that was very nervous, someone that had a lot of anxiety. And so It made them question you. It made them feel their wound made you feel as if there was something wrong with you. It wasn't a blame. This is not a blame game. Understand, as I said before you came on, we all inherit family karma, ancestral karma, and then like the environment, whatever is going on in the environment at the time. So, your family made you continuously question yourself. And so when we question ourselves, we become reactive. And that's automatic. It's like, I already know. Again, because you are coming from an intuitive standpoint. It's not like you're not. However, not all the time it does somebody, again, everybody doesn't lead their life intuitively, where I feel like in a way you do. It's like how you feel. That's your prominent, I want to say, gift. And so it gives you a lot of gifts on one hand, but on the other hand, it's not good to be in a relationship with somebody that's reactive, because it's going to trigger their wounds. And I also feel like you're the type of person that wouldn't really even invest in someone unless you were really crazy about that person. And so a lot of times spirit brings us the exact opposite type of person. And so, and that person will trigger you. And I feel like that's happened in the past. Now, were you there, Amanda? I want to make sure that we're resonating, because it's like, did you fall off? Sometimes, am I talking to myself? Oh, good. Like I said, because there's a dust part of me too, and the dust part of me resonates. Right. It resonates with you because you're the same way. Like, I need to know, like, and it's because you're a deep person. It's not, but understand other people might not understand you. You might feel, again, like people don't understand you unless you're outright giving a lot of yourself. So I feel like at this point, you're like, I don't really give as much anymore, because when I did, they took so much. And so that was partially too because of the reactive. So it's, will I look into your relationship? Yes, but I want to focus on your wounds first. Why? Because when we say, oh, well, in past relationships, you taught a person really not to give you, and not to, that they didn't have to. And that's because you always give. You're reactive in the face of, I know what this person needs, so I'm just going to do it. And so and I'm going to treat people the way I would want to be treated. So I'm going to really give 100%. If you do that, what happens is that you're teaching a person that they don't have to ever learn about you. And that's the problem. It's like, so it's not the fact that you're not a nice person. It's not the fact that you don't have all these great qualities. It's the fact that when there's a lack inside of you, and not because I believe that your parents meant to be that way. It was stress. It's stress. It's anxiety. It's, whatever was going on in the environment. And so again, didn't mean that they were not ever in a bad mood. I'm sure that she was. However, it's like the way that you're so sensitive to it, like, and that's the child self. But understand, unless we integrate that child aspect of self, it now becomes an ingrained behaviorism, where it's just like, well, that's just automatic. It's the way that I am. And I don't want to change. And so spirit says, well, you're not supposed to change. It's not all or nothing. And that's the problem. You then become an all or nothing, where then it's like not as many joys, not as much, because you're cutting yourself off, because you're protecting your heart. Because again, people have taught you not to trust, where God says that's not the way it works. It works that you're me in physical form, because I live inside of you as a gift to spirit. And it says, be like childlike. So your child, being like childlike, is finding yourself, is discovering yourself. And I feel like, and when you were younger, it was all about style. It was all about looks. It was all about like things. And that's not like really the Amanda Jackson anymore. It's not that Amanda Jackson doesn't like those things, but she's a lot deeper than that. So there is a sense of wanting to be of service because that's how you automatically are. You are intuitive. And yes, I feel like you're a great salesman, but it's like I I'm feeling like on a deeper level, it's more through like the holistic health like practices about living a certain way because you are a perfectionist. You do like things a certain way. You're an intuit, you're creative, and those are your strengths. And why we talk about this when we're talking about relationship, because it's still in alignment with that second chakra. And the second chakra is all about your passion for life, who you perceive you are. It's like your flavor. It's like it's your creativeness. It's that you can go with the flow through the passion of birthing, because that's all that center. It's the birthing center, it's the passion center. And that's again who you are, because your job is to give and receive of love through your free will. And God's saying it's like when you give and receive of love for a person, you'll always come up short because you'll always overgive. So it's not that you can't have what you want, it's that you're going about getting what you want the wrong way. Because it's not about, I'm going to be nice and then I'm not nice, because it's like, well, I'm nice and then I get this shit. And then it's like, where it's about you being nice, but filling your cup up so much that it overflows. Yes, that's why. And that's what Spirit's saying is like, no, you have to put yourself on a pedestal. You're teaching that person when they meet you how you want to be treated. It's like, this is how I want to be treated. And I treat myself that way. And I treat myself that way because I invest in my life. I'm passionate about my life. If you're not giving me emotional fulfillment, you don't belong in my life. If you don't, right, but the way you need ammunition is what Spirit is saying. It's like just to do it, it's hard to do it because listen, it's like if I was in a desert and I haven't dated anyone, whatever, I'm not going to really even know that they're not being as nice to me. It's like I'd be like, well, they don't talk that much, I'd say. They're just not like that's their personality. That's you make excuses because you don't want to seem like a crazy person. So a way is you have to make them chase. You have to make a person again desire you. And that's by doing what you love, by becoming love. And you can't hold that vibration of becoming like of love unless you're really doing what you love. So you're interactive with people, giving and receiving of love. So that man meets you like that. Like, wow, that person's powerful. Wow, that person can take care of themselves. Wow, that person like does all that. I want them to give me all that. I want them to do that. You automatically go in there giving them all that and then being undervalued, because God says that's how you just broke spiritual law number one, which is you didn't honor yourself. You have to love me first. I'm a jealous God. That's through you first. And that's through, again, because if somebody already finds you attractive, that's not the issue. The issue is that you don't get them to do what you want them to do. And everybody knows what they should do. Now you'll deal with men that have big egos. However, love is God. God says, I'm love. I'm the universe. I am the universe. I am love. Love is inside you. It's our connection to each other. It's your connection to everyone, including me. So this person is not about love. It's about respect. It's about teaching them as soon as they come into your life. And that's not through playing games, because most people don't have enough passion going on in their life. Most people aren't enjoying their life as much. So remember, you're already creative. You're already intuitive. You already could be the muse. That's not the issue. You make every room beautiful. Like you could be an interior designer. Like you can, like that's not the issue. The issue is I need you to literally be. Yeah, like right, but that's the thing. They don't know what that looks like. And so you'll take it personally, like you're not giving me respect, but if the people treat you the way that they treat themselves, they don't know. And if you're gonna say give them a list, they're gonna forget the same way that you would forget like your grocery list at home. And it's not because the person doesn't care. It's because that, and it wouldn't hurt you so much because you know that the person, I know that the person cares, but that's what the fuck it looks like. And God says that's because that's what you taught this person. So it's not about all or nothing because there is caring there. You don't throw the baby out with the baby water. However, you have to, because believe me, if a man actually sits there to listen to the fucking respect talk on Wednesday, that he likes you because they don't want to listen to any of the talk. I'm not with you because of the talking. Trust me. It's like if I'm here listening to it, it's because I like you and I'm trying. Because this is what it looks like. But they don't really, like I said, it has to be like where you're embodying the life that you want. They don't know what to do. It's like we tend to think that they know what to do. It's like, oh, they've also dated a lot of people and not had good experiences with it. And so there's a sense of you like to, this is you, Amanda. This is how he thinks. You like to drive the bus. I'm letting you drive the bus. But then when I let you drive the bus for too long, you get annoyed about the traffic and about all the other things that go along with driving the bus. And I don't know how to drive the bus. So I'm like, so it's about, if you want him to be a certain way, you have to embody it. You have to show him, like as if you had kids. If you have kids, you're not going to tell a kid, don't smoke and sit there and smoke. You're going to live a life that, is healthy and happy. And you're going to brag about the results like, woohoo, yeah, that's right. I won the Olympics and I won $1,000 because I won that. And now I'm on TV and look at all this, attention I'm getting because I'm the shit. Because look what I just did. So the kid's going to be like, I want to do that. And so it's the same thing. Like if you want that, you gotta embody that. You gotta, and so there's a part of you that's like, I'm looking for him to do what I don't really know how to do for myself. And it also comes out like he doesn't emotionally care. Well, it's again, you're the highly sensitive person. God will never, ever, ever, ever bring you somebody that is emotionally 100% like gonna give you. God will say, no, 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 no. You already are the emotional person. Hey, champagne. Like you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not gonna do that. what he's gonna say is, I'm bringing you the opposite, someone that doesn't think the way that you are, but you're hot for this person. This way you want to bash that person's face in because you're like, they trigger you. Hey, I'm doing a reading for Amanda because she won a free reading, but I will answer any of your questions after her reading. So this is the issue, Amanda, like that when you are, when you're like it's a spiritual thing, relationships thing. So you have to deal, if you're a woman, if you're a woman and you resonate more with that, then you need to, all right, that's cool. And so like if that's like, what am I trying to say? If that's what you resonate with more being like the woman, then you need to lay boundaries and again show them. And there's a sense of also needing to train them because it's a more of a, he's attracted to you because you have those things, that you are the person that is going to like plan, is going to make things pretty, does seem like they know what to do. So, like I said, at this point, you're looking for this person that doesn't know how to emotionally give you. And it's not because they don't love. God says, only I love perfect. You don't love perfect. People don't love perfect. But that's what that person does, is showing that they do. Because listen, if he's listening to the let's talk about respect, like again, we have to have a conversation on that. Believe me, they don't want to have a conversation on that kind of stuff. It's almost like yawn because they've heard it before. So it's that's why I'm saying, so he's attracted to you for those things where you say, well, then why would God give me a person like that? And God says, well, you're out of balance. And see, I am just unconditional love. And wherever you need to feel unconditional love, where you don't feel unconditional love is when this person is triggering you. It's awakening your wounds. And where it's again, where they would be there if he was not here. And if a new person comes into your life, the same wounds would eventually show up. It's like, that's why some people say, oh, this person's going to be different with me. Unless you're different, they will not be different. What makes people different is the fact that you're different, because every situation is karmic, means learn. It doesn't mean bad. We associate karma with bad. It means learn. Are you going to learn? Are you going to integrate the spiritual lesson? Or are you going to keep being blocked? Oh, here we are again. Same thing, same thing, same thing. Which over time, it just makes you feel like you can't have the love that you desire. And that's not true. The way that you're going about it is wrong because it's karmic. And so that's why. Right, exactly. Karmic cycles suck because it's like it's the same thing. Different people, same thing. You got to do something different because the illusion is no, that's just what comes to me. It's like, yeah, that's what comes to you. You're absolutely right. But if you do something different, you can get what you want, because especially if it's a past life karmic. If it's a past life karmic, it's like they have agreed to come back into this life to say, okay, let's get it this time. And if it's a soulmate twin flame, that person has already done the work, where I'm not feeling that. I don't feel like your connection is a soulmate twin flame, but I do feel like they are a soulmate. And so there's a sense of, I want to learn. I want to do this. Now, I understand people like, oh, a twin flame. But let me tell you, the bigger karmic consequences, the higher the level. Because at that point, you should have learned the lesson. And that's why you were like, oh, that person like really fucked me up. They fucked you up because it's, again, you gave too much. And again, it happened because it was super fast, fire and ice, this passion. Because understand, your soulmate twin flame is there to transmute your wounds, to help you transmute them, because you can't just get rid of negative energy. God said, it doesn't work like that. You have to transmute it. That's a law. That's alchemy. So again, a lot of times we can't do it on our own. So you get a soulmate, you get a twin flame, depending on whatever it is. And if you don't learn the lesson, it becomes a karmic cycle, which is horrible, because it keeps you locked into that core belief that you can't have, that you're separate. It keeps the shadow parts of yourself disconnected. So that's why it's about what you do. And I only focus on this, Amanda, because let me tell you something. Just because I'm telling you doesn't mean that you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, because you're going to have stress. You're going to be like, I have to be more interactive in my life. I have to give this person less. If they're emotionally not giving me, well, then I need to remove myself and be interactive in things that are going to fill me. This way, this person sees I'm not affected. I am not fucking affected. Because the ego is what is the fear, which is why you're blocked. And it's not because of you, because you're like, we're going to have that talk. And that person's shut down, and they are shut down because of that. Yeah, people are so yeah, on other, and this is the truth. So that's why I'm saying you got to fill that cup up, and because it's not about love. Now, will that person be mad? Because we know what dependent looks like. Dependent looks like codependent, and so understand there's a sense of, well, this is the role you're supposed to play, and this is, and it's like, no, 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 no. It's like, because then if I play the role you want me to play, you're going to get fucking bored with me, because that's what happens. It's not about me molding to you, because you'll never get what you want. So again, it's a condition that happened in childhood of someone that had anxiety. You tapped in and was like, okay, well, I don't need that person to get all fucked up on me. So I'm going to like do what they want me to do so that they love me. So we're repeating this, and spirit is saying, oh no, that is a karmic cycle that needs to end. So it doesn't mean that it's easy, because remember, that's a habit that you it's just automatic, which is why I pulled the card reactive to begin with. Because I've said, spirit, what is going to be the word of the day? And it was reactive, and I said, I kind of feel like that's Amanda's word, and spirit said it is. Well, it's like, listen, I did, like, because life, you can't do anything with this shit. Like I said, what am I supposed to do with it, champion? Like, I mean, my mother tried to kill me several times. My father had cancer 9 times. I have 2 sisters that they don't read anything that I've ever written. I had told one, I have a TV show, she gave me a like through message, through a text message, not even through Facebook, bitch. Like, I will not acknowledge you. I will not acknowledge you. You are nothing. So it's, so when I say, God, look, what the fuck is this? What am I supposed to do with this? God says, go bigger. Go bigger. He was like, so it's in your face. He was like, go bigger. Then we'd be having to go around. I don't see nothing, because it's like, I don't want to see. And that's why. New reader as well, life is hard when you get lessons. It is, but it makes you stronger as long as you integrate the spiritual lesson. And it's like, and that's really what it is. If you're on this path, it's because it's, again, there's healing, right? Part of us needs to be able to see, hey, I'm not alone. I'm not alone, number one, because the information doesn't come from me, it comes from the divine. That's number one. And if you're an intuitive, that means clairsentient. The more clairsentient, the more the clairsentient, the more clairsentient, it becomes claircognizance. It's just, I don't know how I knew, it just knew, because it's the two vehicles work as one towards mediumship. So it's an intuitive reader, it just that needs to go on their path a little bit more. But let me get back to Amanda, and I'll get to you, because it's, everything is all about healing when you see, because you're down here in physical form to learn and to manifest, and you may be like, what the fuck am I learning? God says, you're supposed to be learning, you're not separate from me. Through seeing your life through all different perceptions, but you keep seeing the same limitation, the same karmic theme, the same. So it begins to make us live from that way. So it's, though, your path is supposed to allow you to see yourself differently. And that goes for both of you. Like, because really God says me first, and you're supposed to be having a relationship with me. And that's, again, all I am is love, unconditional love. Give and receive of love through your free will, through every single person that you come in contact with. It's, again, I will bring you people to change your mind and your heart about yourself, about like what you perceive you can have. This is how you really have a relationship with the universe, because the universe is actually inside of us. It's, again, it's our connection to each other. It's empathy. It's love. It's only all love. So you always have to know, I need to be in alignment with the laws of love, the laws of nature, and the laws of the universe, because they're all the same thing. And so it's called a lot of different things. So, but we all know what unconditional love is. And so when you're on your path and someone comes into your life, They won't, and you can be crazy about them. They won't be able to take you off that, because the joy and the passion that you get from doing that, you begin to realize too that first of all, you wouldn't risk that. So you could be madly in love with someone and they can come into your life and do that. And guess what? You wouldn't be madly in love with them anymore, because what you would realize is the amount of energy and time that I put into my purpose. And this person wants me to come in and drop it all for you. Can't do that. So that's why I'm saying that you would never do it. You know what I mean? So did Amanda leave? I just want to make sure so that I'm not, because right now I see that there's one person. So Amanda, you here still? If you're not, that's okay, because I'm like gonna read. But I think like she wanted to know mainly about her relationship, and oh good, because it only shows that there's one person. So it's like I'm like, who the hell is here? So I wanted to make sure that you knew that too, like when you begin to change, that your boyfriend is not going to be like, oh yeah, like remember, like when any change that might trigger them. So I don't want you to like not do it, is what I'm saying. Like, which means invest more in yourself. You want your person inevitably to give you more, which is I need them to consider me. I feel like they don't consider me. And that's the respect, the respect, and it comes back to respect. You're not respecting me. No, no, no. It's not that they don't respect you. He wouldn't be with you. That's what it looks like. He can only do as well as you've taught him. So you have to teach him. And the way that you would is by doing it for yourself, which means less time for him. And that would be to be like, well, if you wanted to do what I said, I really feel like you'd be great in like holistic health coaching, interior design, like doing this sort of creative work. That would mean you would need to take a class, you need to network, you need to create yourself. That's a lot less time for this person. Not to mention, you wouldn't care as much about how much this person was giving, as long as they were giving something in their own way. What happens is if a person doesn't feel adequate and you don't feel adequate, it's not like you're walking around saying, I feel inadequate, I feel inadequate. No one does that. It's more like that's a wound, it's an old wound, it becomes subconscious, but then we wind up being with someone that also feels that way. For whatever reason. So, like I said, by you becoming you, and not looking at him so much, being like, okay, like it's like Valentine's Day and I'm waiting for a gift, or watch, I'm sick and I'm expecting him to do X, Y, and Z because like Mary Jane over there had her boyfriend does X, Y, and Z. So I want to see what mine does. Whatever the ego is going to get involved, because the ego is going to like definitely be like, like what has this person done, or what, like if this person really cared, they would do this, they would do that. And usually it's some wound that has not been healed to begin with, so it looks like a gaping gigantic hole that they're supposed to fix. So the truth of the matter is, if you're fulfilling yourself, because when you're feeding yourself new knowledge, that's a way of self-love. It's healing the inside. You're recreating new neurological pathways in your mind, which makes reactive behavior non-existence. And so, right, that's the thing. You can't help but not have expectations if you're not getting fulfilled. That's not because you're being mean. That's unfortunate. The ego mind, the reptilian mind. There's a part of our mind, the reptilian mind, that has already been shaped. And it's been shaped and it's on survival. So again, if you grew up where you didn't get what you needed, there's already, your mind is like, this person needs to do this. This person needs to do this. This person needs to do this. You know what I mean? And But then Spirit is saying is like, well, Amanda, is he unfulfilling to you because you're asking him to give too much? Because think of it like this. What's your favorite ice cream? Tell me what your favorite ice cream is. You have, like, again, whatever it is. It's like, let's just say it's chocolate. If you had chocolate ice cream all day long, every single day, and that was the only type of dessert you ever have, you wouldn't, yeah, see, you wouldn't like chocolate. And so, does that mean that he needs to have a variety of flavors? No. What it means is if he only got a small bowl of ice cream every day, he would look forward to that bowl of ice cream. Yeah, like it's like, no, the answer is not variety. But what it means is it's like, oh, you're with me, but my life is so full. You already like me, you're already attracted to me. So it's not about attraction, it's the fact that my life is full without you. It's like that I'm full of passion and full of life in my life. I'm interactive in my life. I'm happy. It's like then they're only getting that one bowl of ice cream. You would see how you would then, you're not going to pick up the phone and we're going to take the phone call like while we're out to dinner. He would all of a sudden care. Well, what about my time? Right now, his time is all the time. So it's like, it's not that I don't care about you, but it's almost like, well, it's always here. And so it's always available. And it's not that they would want you to cheat. It's like, but it's like it's always the attitude becomes, it's a habit. I don't mean to do that, but I begin to treat you the way that I treat myself. So I don't really think about things. I just kind of go about my day. And so if it's always there, so I like to use like the ice cream because it's like, imagine having like your favorite dessert every day, but just a tiny bit of it. Sometimes you might want the whole thing. Sometimes you'd be like, I ate the whole cup, but I wish I had a little bit more. Other times you'd be like, I that was just enough. That was perfect. And other times you're like, I only had half of it, but I still had it. And that's what it is. Well, that's what it is because he was insecure. So it's not like you just did it. You didn't come in and say, I'm never going to leave you. It was more like he also was a little insecure. He needed that much in the beginning. There was a lot of like, again, so it became that, and that's why I'm saying. And that's why, like I said, he doesn't know how. Because I would tell you if I felt like, oh, this guy's an asshole. I don't feel like he's an asshole. I feel like he doesn't know how. It's like that, and that it's mainly because, and God says, well, Amanda, this would happen again. This would happen again. And it's not because like he's bad, but he's meeting you at the level of consciousness, like all I'm with a person. I love you. That's what, hey, Suzanne, like I love you. And being that I love you, like I'm giving the time to you. It's like I don't know what else you want me to do. And then you're looking at them, and then it's like after a while when you talk, I know they just go click. Like after a while, anybody does it because it's like I don't know what you want from me. It's like I'm here, I'm giving you. This is all that there is. And you're like, and then you're making them feel even more insecure because what you're saying is, you're not really enough. Like, I like you, but you don't know. You don't hold up to my standards. So it's like because he doesn't know. It's like he only knows if you do, but it's awakening your wounds. Where Spirit's saying, no, those are inside of you before him and will be in there after him as well. However, they feel like they're him because you're like, why don't you just get it? Like, so stupid. And it's like it's because emotionally I'm not as intelligent. And that's what you're like emotionally, you don't really know because he wasn't allowed to. express his feelings and emotions growing up. That's why that's not his strong suit. And so you'll always wind up, and that's everybody that's on here, whoever you are, you will always wind up with someone that does not think the way that you think. If they're a soulmate twin flame, if they're a past life. No, no, no. Those people are there to like awaken every single wound that you have and then pull that shit out of you so that you not have to look at it and then you're like, oh my God, it's like banging your foot in the same spot over and over and over again. And eventually you want to take that that coffee table and slam it over that fucking head. Like, what don't you get? Because and then that's the pent up emotional energy that is eventually what takes women down because it's like, what the fuck, you know? Right. Every single wound that like you just want to slam that coffee table over their head. Then you feel like a crazy person. It is, but it's made for that so that you'll sit there and you'll be like, okay, what the fuck do I have to do? What is it? Like that I just want to be free of whatever this is because I can't be with you and I can't be without you. I can't, whatever the fuck this is, whatever the fuck, what do I have to do? Like at that point because everyone will take it, you know, you'll take it out on everyone because that emotional energy, like it's got to be, you know, you have to integrate it, otherwise it's more because that's fear. It's like this keeps happening. It's like we keep having this conversation. What don't you get? And then you're like, do you not? You're purposely doing it. I know you're purposely doing it. That's what it looks like. And they're like, yeah, I'm purposely doing this. I just love it when you act like a crazy person. And it's like, no, it becomes like, because they don't know. So that's why I'm saying you being more invested in your own life, it's like it'll seem exciting. It seems exciting to them. They'd be like, you just gotta make things happen. I like that champagne. Like, but it's like, you know, like you just make things happen. Like, and when you make things happen, it's like you don't have to say, you need to do this for me. What it is they say, well, you're so busy. Can I do this for you? Because hey, I want a little attention too. So if at least I'm by your side, bringing you, yeah, I like to hear. Here's a cup. I brought her a juice. You see, you know, like eventually their ego. It's like, why should you have all the fun? Why should you be like only being the one? Because they're like, I want some of that too. Again, especially if they're insecure. Insecure means there's parts of them that need to be healed, parts of themselves that they've detached from. So there's not really an identity. The identity is, again, it's not good enough. That it's that you're not doing anything with it. You haven't cultivated that energy. So your perception is that, but that's not really who it is. So if you're having a great time, well, I want to have a great time too. And if people associate you positively, well, I want to be associated with you. You believe me, you don't have to ask them, are you coming along with me? No, this is not going to Aunt Mary's garage sale and luncheon dinner. This is not that. This is, I'm having a good time. Like I'm getting together with a bunch of like-minded people. And I don't know, there's a party and then we might travel and we're learning something and I don't know, and that inspired me to do something and I ain't even thinking about you. That's what what they would be like, I'm not even thinking about you. They'd be like, believe me, you wouldn't have to ask because a man, they will run. They will run. You know, they will chase. So I just wanted to put that out there for you. Now, did you have any other questions? Yes, no? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what you need to do. And once you do that, it's not, it'll be a game changer because it's not about that. However, will you want to stay with that person? Unfortunately, if that person doesn't evolve, then you wouldn't want to stay with them. Do I feel like they will? Yeah, I feel like they're going to do their best to do that, because it's, again, they've invested a lot. It's not love. It's not about love. It's like that's what it looks like because because they're not perfect. The illusion in the beginning when you're really like hot for someone is that they're perfect, because they hold, oh, you have all the ingredients and I see everything that you're capable of, but unfortunately it's not. They don't that, like, not unless you show them, and not unless they evolve. Because remember, as you evolve, like, spirit will say, well, what no longer serves in your life is going to like present itself, and it'll eventually fall out, but you don't have to worry about that, because like it's not like, okay, I'm on my new life and now here it is, where are you? As you evolve, they should evolve again, because that's what happened. Well, I think everybody falls in love with with potential, but then this way, you are not falling in love with potential when you're giving yourself the love. You're becoming the vibration, and then you're actually attracting the same type of energy. You're not attracting the same imbalanced energy, which is the problem. It's like where I see potential, but you're not doing it. And spirit says, well, I see potential in you, and I don't see you doing it. Like, and that's why you're getting that. You're like, I need someone that's going to give me the emotional stuff. And God says, you can't get that through love. That's my job, because I'm a jealous God. And that's me first. That's through you first. And then this way, you don't need it because you already are it. And then you're pulling in a person that actually they know what to do, because hey, they're invested in their life. So they're not going to treat someone that hangs off their arm with disrespect. They're not going to like, they'll say, well, this person invests in themselves, this person takes care of themselves, this person, I want to be in their world. And that, and you'll be able to get what what you're entitled to. Like, they'll treat you better. And then, and that's all that there is. Well, and that's the thing, see, because, and so there is like a sense of that he did well. He didn't tear it down. Like, I think that he, that you said from him, but he tore down everything I worked on. I wasn't healed at all. I think that you are healed. It's like, I think that you are. It's just, it's hard to. It's not that you don't know what you don't like. I think what it is once you have to embody the new life in order to have integrated that spiritual lesson. In your mind, you did do the work for 2 years. You did learn. But Spirit says, how can you make that stick? This isn't about you not knowing. You knew, but then you tried to keep it. But it's like relationships evolve. So you tried to, like, you can't control it, Spirit's saying. This isn't about control. There's a sense of fear, too much fear with you. Like, I need to be some in order for this relationship to work. And God says, you don't. It's like, first of all, he would have walked away. It's not that he wouldn't, but again, if he was yours, he would have came back. He would have had to surrender his ego. You didn't give it enough time. So either you just let him back. He came back after 2 years, and if it wasn't him, it would be someone else, because what Spirit is saying is what you need to do for yourself. This is what's keeping you limited. So did this person tear down? No, it was like the person loved, and this is the way that they loved. And what you realized is, I'm back in the same place that I was 2 years ago. And I'm like, what the fuck? And God says, but it's about, just grounding the information is all. And it's not done all at once. We don't just rip off a Band-Aid, because you wouldn't be able to do that, because the whole relationship isn't horrible. You do get emotional fulfillment. So you, again, just downsize it. You just say, okay, well, what I realize is there's 8 slices of pizza in a pizza pie. I'm going to give myself 7. He only gets 1 slice. If he wants to do more for me, again, wants to show up more for me, then I'll give him another slice. But until then, it's like it's not enough for me. It's like I'm falling, and you feed yourself, because then he has an opportunity to show you more. And a lot of times, trust me, they won't pass the karmic test, unfortunately, because they have a big ego. I got it before. Why should I have to do it? So understand that. But it's about you holding your ground, because that's what I said before, that people tend to, they date and then they get hurt and then they take themselves off the shelf for like 3, 4, 5 years, and then they go back in life and the same thing happens. So that's not you. That's again the wound, and that's the karmic, lesson that needed to be learned and integrated is all. All right. So I am going to wind it down because we're almost at an hour, and pour champagne. Champagne, if you're out there, I'll log back on and you can get a reading at another time. I'm going to find her. And like I said, and do that. Do what I'm telling you. Like, it's again, I'm feeling interior design. I'm feeling also like, believe it or not, flower arranging. I'm feeling anything creative, anything intuitive. I need you to like join things, because also, let me tell you something. Like, the universe also helps you. Hey, Isaiah. I'm not sure. I don't want to butcher your name. Is it Isika? Isika? Nice to meet you. So, you know what I mean? Like, you want to join things, be interactive, because the universe also will help support you. It's like, it's not just you being interactive in your own life. It's also spirit, like bringing you people that will help you show this person, hey, I'm a good catch. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm very interactive in my life, and there's a lot of people that are interested in me. I'm not acting on it, but at any time I can replace you. And that might sound mean. It's not mean. If someone's being disrespectful, then hey, then you need to be like, no can do. It's like, less time for you. I don't need to chat about it. Peace out. I'm going to go over here and where I'm celebrated. And that would be. And that's what you have to do. Like, but also just be interactive in your own life. Fill your own life. Make sure that cup is overflowed. Ishika. 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 I like it. But that's the key. The key is all of that. I think someone just texted me. Do you have time today? I think I do. But I'm gonna make it for 5 o'clock, because I'm a highly sensitive person and I need that extra time. You know that, Ishika. You're like that too. We need that extra time. It's like, I like to do things the right way. I'm a highly sensitive person. So let's see what other words we have. Oh, magical realism. I love this one. Magical realism is about being able to see the signs and synchronicities that happen within our everyday, again, letting spirit lead us. It's about being able to manifest too, because you're, again, seeing it, letting the universe guide you. Can we come over today? Who? This person is driving me crazy. Who is this? Who is this? She is book appointment. I'm sorry. I'm like, I left this on. And let me know time. Let me know time. I am on YouTube. I am on YouTube too. Okay, sorry about that. Hey, child time. I'm like, okay, so I was getting back to that. That's like, it's like people, they reach out and they're like, I had one person literally call me and ask and said, oh, what time do you open tomorrow? And they said 10 o'clock. They say, I'm coming over at 10. And I'm like, Oh, you're not. It was like you have to book an appointment. You can't just come. Thank you so much, Amanda, for being my winner. She was the winner. She said quantum coins, and I was so happy about it. Thank you for joining, and thank you for making this time. All right, Ishka. Let's see. Okay, so synthesis. Okay, this is like the same exact word. Okay, synthesis and magical realism. It's like being guided. So I'm kind of like feeling like you're on your like soul's path right now, being led, and the genius just popped over. Marcelo from St. Petersburg, Russia. Okay. Sorry, I'm just gonna send my website, and I think yes, I do. I think that I think that that's actually a good thing. And you may say, good thing that it's chaotic. No, I think a lot of times, like right, that when you are on your soul's purpose, like things have to kind of fall. You need to have a few tower moments, first of all, for certain things to that have not been working in your life to fall away from your life, and also to get clear about what it is that you want to do. So I even said this to my friend. My friend has a autistic child, and I said, well, like she's on her soul's path too, and she doesn't really feel like she's on her soul's path. And she doesn't feel like she's on her soul's path because, well, I'm taking care of my kid, but she never learned how to do certain things for herself. So that's why I'm saying, so like it's again like what needs to be cleared. Like you say, oh well, I'm not working, I'm not making money. Well, it's that it's not all about that from a spiritual perspective. From a spiritual perspective, you're supposed to first and foremost, and that's why I feel like you got the magical realism and the synthesis is that spirit saying you're intuitive, you're okay. There's a sense that you don't feel that you're okay. So getting a strong sense of self. Until five, no stopovers. Overs. Thank you. Sorry, I'm like, this person is very intrusive. Only book appointment before all clients. Now, please, sorry, be respectful because I'm on YouTube and I keep having to stop doing what I'm doing to answer you. I have a protocol, and that's people book their appointments, they pay beforehand, and then they get their reading. It's boundaries. Boundaries. You know, people might think that that's rude. It's not rude. It's like, I honor my time. There's a lot of, I do a lot of things to create my business. It's not just YouTube. I have see clients. I work outside. Not to mention, I have a private life. So it's boundaries. People will want to come into your life and just be like, I'm going to do it this way. You're not going to do anything any which way, and not on my time. You're not. So it's again, it took me a long time to have to do. And that's why I'm saying a lot of times, because I grew up in an environment where it wasn't safe. My mom was mentally imbalanced and my father was physically imbalanced. My mother tried to kill me several times, which gave me the gift of knowing, because when you live in survival mode, you got to sense out things. And the more that you live that way, the more your psychic ability expands. And my father was sick all the time. So it's again, I had to rely on myself. But in the beginning, I thought that he was being nice. and overgive and overdo. And now it's like a boundary. And still, this person is still trying to talk to me, as you can see. Like, again, I asked the person nicely. Now the next step is block, because it's, again, boundary. Like that intrusive energy, which is what I grew up with. So I don't like it because it triggers me, that energy. Anyway, so I don't believe that it's bad. I believe that it's, again, the chaotic energy, everything that's happening is to heal you. It's to help clear you so that you will be a good vehicle. Not to mention, if you're taking care of your child and you're, again, taking care of yourself, though, that's the root chakra. Remember, the root chakra, first and foremost, is your connection to yourself, is your connection to the physical world, it's also to the divine. So the signs and the synchronicities and the magical realism, Spirit saying, I'm with you. You're actually being guided right now. And that's what you're supposed to do. Goodbye. You're very rude. I have to block this person because it's like, at this point, it's rude. Okay, so child time. You want to marry. Oh, Sadar, you're telling me I want to marry someone. So wait a second. I was still talking to somebody. So do you want to know, are you going to be okay? Look at this. Self-observation. This is what you're supposed to be doing right now. Again, observing, because it's a healing time for you. It's a grounding time, but you are being guided. Again, I got it again. I got it again. So no, tell me. It's okay. Listen, I know, my friend, it's a long time too, but I feel like you didn't have that strength at all. So you really are in the process of building it. Let's see when your life is going to change. Let's see what the universe tells us to do. Okay, when somebody is going through it and going through it and going through it, what's the wisdom here? How can we deal with the situation? Like the karmic things is what I really want to look at. Because it's not about what we go through, though. Listen, no one got more stuck in the story than I did. It's like I've gotten stuck in the story of my own life many, many, many times. And so what it is all about, this person is fucking rude. I'm sorry. I'm like getting really annoyed. I'm so irritated right now because the person's going to see you in 45. If that person comes over here in 45 minutes, I'm going to, like, my husband will be there. Yeah. So what it is it's cycles, but it's not that, it's about not what we go through. It's about how we handle it. That's first and foremost. So again, the support, the lack of support. I'm asking first because it's not like you're not going to have to go through a karmic cycle. It's like, that. What makes a karmic cycle stop is when we do something different. Magnetism. So it's, again, knowing what also you're passionate about and putting it out there. Like a lot of times, like I feel like you're just in survival mode. And this is when we're in survival mode, we are just, again, going on autopilot. There's a sense of, I don't know what else to do. And I feel like, again, it's the whole, what are you passionate about? What do you love? What is like, what are you investing in? And I know that might sound like that's the most stupidest thing that you could be saying. If I'm going through trauma right now, what can I do? But Spirit's saying, I need for you to change that thought pattern. You're conditioning your body and mind. You're stuck in that. So you're going to become a magnet to that. We don't want that. It's like we have to get out of that survival mode. And so it's next to impossible if you're like not grounded and looking for it to happen again. And so, like I said, because you've already gone through it, it's the same type of cycle, you know. That's why it's very easy. It's very easy. There's a reason why it's called stuck and stupid. It's stuck and stupid because we're in survival mode. And so being in survival mode, it's all about, it's like we're not thinking, we're not, and we're actually just looking about what's going to happen. So you're conditioning your nervous system. You need to do, so what I would recommend for you is you need to recondition your body and mind. And so that's you bring yourself with you. So God says it's not about controlling your environment, it's about controlling you first, because what's in is what is going to come out, what's going to manifest without. So if we're dealing with the same experiences, we need to change ourselves first and understand that's also not going to be being around the same people that really haven't been supporting you. It's not going to be. That's why support is a huge thing when we're in survival mode. There's a sense of I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone, which is why you keep getting synthesis and magical realism. Like God's saying, is like you're not alone. I'm inside of you as a gift of spirit, but I also work around you. But you're not navigating right. You're not making the law of attraction work for you properly, because it's like almost like I can't. And so that's why I said I would get up in the morning and do like body mind work, breath work. Again, you have to recondition your nervous system. You have to learn how to get back in the now. Only in the now do you get divine guidance through gut, intuition, inner knowing. It's really seeing the divine work through you allows you to trust yourself. Really, and that's I listened to my intuition. I did that, and I got a good result. And then flow, like it's again, because then you get into the flow, and the flow is like, again, you're going almost against the law of the universe. And I know that sounds so stupid, but a lot of times we're like, no, you don't get it. I can't fix my situation because of where I live or who's around me or what's happening or whatever it is. It's very easy for us to be that way. Know that. It's like, that's why Spirit's saying, no, you have to do this first. Like that's the thing, a spiritual awakening first having to do like trauma, and again the karmic cycle, but you should also, like, I think a lot of times people get confused. Like a spiritual awakening, you might have different symptoms that are from like this new awareness and this new. And so part of this too is if you are going through a spiritual awakening, you have to say, are you still around the same people? Are you around the same situations? Are you doing the same things? Because it would be next to impossible to put yourself back into that, small little box, to you would not, like, you know what I mean, in order to like see different. You have to realize a lot of times we live imbalanced, and we live imbalanced because it works for the people that are in our life, and sometimes we have to do that for a little while. However, if you are trying to live the same life after you had a spiritual awakening, you're not going to be able to do it, because the awakening is, I'm undervaluing myself. The awakening is, oh, I've been like living this way and I really shouldn't. So that's why I'm saying it's like you have to implement not just navigating the situation differently, because you'll never be able to do it. And I don't say that negatively. I'm telling you from an experience. Number one experience. I dealt with my mom, who was always, again, trying to, like, my mother was mentally sick. So she was a master manipulator. And I would try and do little things. My mother knew who I was. People know who you are. So it's again trying to like change your life by being like, okay, I'm not going to go over there today. Okay, I'm going to go over there today. All right, I won't say anything. Okay, I'm going to say something. It's more or less like, to be able to really change it is, you have to again create a new life for yourself. And you create a new life by investing in yourself. Like, who does Ishika? I don't want to say your name wrong. I'm like, I got to go back up to the way that you pronounced it up there. Um, okay, Ishika. Yeah, like, who does she want to be? You know, who, like, what do you want to do? You know, like where do you want to invest your time? Like, you need to invest like your time in becoming yourself, because what you're not realizing, it's not just about you telling people, hey, this is the real me. No, no, no. The people that you attract into your life being the real you are going to help you set the example of, hey, this is who this person is. They become, per se, your disciples. They become your support. Because if you're trying to just be different, because like, but and you're dealing with somebody that knows how to press every single button, knows how to emotionally manipulate you, and is creating the hell on top of it, it's going to be like, I try to navigate it. It's not like I don't, but it's that person again knows everything about you. So it's going to be next to, unless you do something different. And a lot of times, like I said, it's not even you doing something different as in, I'm going to change that. It means do something different and change your entire life to become who you want to become. And then the people that are in your life become the support, and that you don't have to worry about how it happens, because you're being guided to actually do it, because that's that. It's like, but it's very important that you pay attention to this law, because when you're out of alignment, you're not in the flow. So you know what it feels like to be in the flow. That's like when things feel good. That's when you're having a great time. That's when it's, again, you're not thinking about what might happen, what this person might do, what it can happen. It's like, no, 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 no. We're looking at where I want to go, what I want to do, and I'm becoming what I want to become. So I am in the flow of the universe because I became the vibration of love, and I'm being guided. So I am already a magnet to who and what I need. And that's the support to get away from this situation. And you're seeing it. So you don't need to be like, is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? It's like, you're going to be like, I already see how it's going to happen. How you see it's going to happen, Ishika? And you're like, oh, well, every Wednesday I go to the American Idol tryouts. And I met a bunch of singers here. And now, you know, that they don't, my life is completely different. Oh, were you moving? You know, I was just trying to do this. You know, I have a dream. You know, it's, again, God says, yeah, your dream, your love. What's your passion? Where do you want to put the time? It's like, so that you can't, because you can't go to the same place or be around the same people that made you sick, that make you feel sick, that like to heal, because that's the lesson. A lot of times the lesson is, it's that, you know, we can love people too that are just not going to be capable of doing it. So that's really what Spirit's saying, is you start where you are. Because a lot of times we're like, oh, where do I start? And Spirit always says, you start where you are. And it's like, so you don't need to move. You don't need to obtain tons of money. You don't need to do that. It might start with you using your computer and looking and reading and being really interactive and doing that kind of stuff. Because part of you, Spirit saying, is doesn't know who you are. So it would be difficult to navigate or do much of anything different because it would kind of seem artificial. But when you're interactive, really in what you're passionate about, what you love, your mind is there, so it's not on training your nervous system and not conditioning your mind about being in worry. And like I said, you're seeing what's happening and you're embodying it. So it cuts off the psychic connection. It creates a new vibration, and for you to again call in the things that are going to help you. And that's what Spirit's saying. You have to rely on spiritual law right now. And that's saying, I know how the universe works, and I'm going to again live in alignment like that. You know what I mean? Like have the faith. It's a faith walk. A lot of times we make it out of inspiration or desperation. So if you're like, oh, this is the same survival karmic shit, then you're in, in a desperation part. So you're going to start with yourself, and then again by investing. So what would that look like for you? Create a daily practice in the morning. Again, that might be yoga, body mind work, doing again things to recondition your nervous system, help you get in the now. Only in the now do you get divine guidance by the higher self. Maybe do like Silva Ultra method, recondition your mind so that you're always talking to God, because it's through that level of consciousness that you can. So there's again, read, know your power. Again, listen to things that are going to remind you about your power. And then go on something like Udemy or Learn It Live. See what you want to learn. Invest in you. And then join a group and be interactive, because you can't do anything staying in the same place. 2019 was a long ass time ago, and it's too long for you to be that way. So that's why I'm saying I guarantee if you take my advice, you will see your life begin to change. You will. I know. I lived this. Listen, I got divorced a long time ago. I took myself out of the game for a long time ago because I didn't trust me. And all that happens is when you finally go back into the game, the same shit happens. So you have to make sure that you again set yourself up for success. And you set yourself up for success through, again, creating a whole new life. Because Spirit is saying, well, what you're saying is, this is what I want. This is my intention. I have faith. And by joining things too, people aren't knowing all about your situation. That's not where you're there for whatever you want to learn. It's like, and relationships are something that happen over time. Trust is something that happens over time. So you can, relax. You don't have to be like stressed out about, oh, this person is like too much. No, it's like, it's a way to cut the psychic energy. Because what I feel is, I feel you're really sensitive, and I feel like people know how to like manipulate, emotionally manipulate. And again, you've lived that way for so long that there is a lot of anxiety, and it does make you feel like you're not supported. But the keys here, what Spirit was saying, is create the support, change your vibration. You're already intuitive, so I'll lead you, because the flow is that. It's like it just feels right. You're intuitively led. Do you have any other questions? If not, I am going to wind it down, because I think that I'm going to have like a weirdo show up at my house, even though I told them not to. As you saw, I blocked them, and then they sent me an email telling me they'll be over in 45 minutes. Crazy. See what happens. But if you don't have anything else, let me know. Right? Like, I mean, just so rude. It's like, but that's what I grew up with. I grew up with very intrusive presence. So I get triggered like with that. Like, first of all, I said 5. So I don't know where you got 45 minutes. Like, that was a whole like, screw you. I'm not going to even listen to what you have to say. It's like, I'm on YouTube until X amount of time. It's like, nope, not going to listen. I'm here. That person was like, I came from here. and I came to see you at this time. Well, if that was really true, you would have booked an appointment. But the whole like, I'm going to guilt you and then I'm going to say, well, since I'm telling you I'm coming from here, I'm coming at in 45 minutes. Again, it's boundaries. And I will not take that person's thing. And my husband will be answering the door because the person obviously doesn't know that I'm married. So they're in for a rude awakening. So it's all good. But I look forward to hearing what happens for you, Ishvita. I hope that you invest in you. I promise you, life will change. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm going to be on again later. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested in learning anything about healing, you definitely want to check out my website because I got a ton of free resources on it. A lot if you'd like to learn and read. So, and also if you would like to check out my subscriptions for $7.99 a month, you can heal the shadow aspects part of yourself. I'll talk to you guys all soon. Bye.